How's it going?
This is
Double Dash Jump.
Welcome to Double Dash Jump!
I'm Ben.
I'm Matt.
and Jono.
This is the weekly entertainment podcast that doubles down on blind vigilantes.
I wonder what that's a reference to. I'm not sure.
what that could possibly...
That could be a few things.
Yeah, they could be like that thing.
So, if
I
you're a blind vigilante...
Do you want to hear a quick Easter egg? A quick fun fact about Daredevil? Alright?
Tell me more!
According to the dates on the thing, it's completely wrong. But according on the show, they have all the newspapers splayed out, right?
Right.
And according to that, the week that the Punisher had his life-changing event, which made him become the Punisher, was the same week that Harlem Terror occurred.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how about that?
She's got that in front of her, and she says it was this week that it happened.
Whoa!
So there you go. Little fun
Tie
fact.
in.
Yeah, there
More
you go.
meta.
So
the Hulk caused the Punisher.
I wasn't exactly going to say that, but I mean...
Well, that was the whole event already happened. That was
A handy coincidence.
what's his face?
Who? Abomination?
Yeah, Abomination.
Abomination.
Alrighty. So, what have we
got this week?
Take us away. Take us on a journey.
This week we're going to be talking about VR news. We're going to be talking about crossplay between Sony and Microsoft. Pokemon Go footage that came out of South by Southwest.
Ooh.
PS4.5 or the PS4K.
Yeah, 4K.
4K.
4K. You got 4.5K.
45. No, but it's like, it's
for me,
4.5 and then
for-
it's K.
For me, it's 4.8K.
It's...
That was an inside joke.
BioShock collection.
Box art.
Art. Uncharted 4 goes gold, and more details on the Telltale's Batman game.
You sounded so confused by that last one.
No.
Have you?
No, I did.
What is it?
I was like,
Telltale make
just-
games now. I was just made sponges.
Bam, and your choices are gone.
That was good. Just a quick dig there. I briefly read that. It's like you get to make choices as Batman. I'm like, no, you don't. No.
Take that away from you.
Bruce will remember
With
that,
a
and it will
spray.
really, really fuck him up.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need a picture of just the parents getting shot down in the alleyway. Bruce will remember that.
So a wee little Bruce in the corner going,
Aw. Okay.
It's like a bottle of Windex or something.
A bottle of Francis?
Friends, oh.
We're crossing the streams, guys.
Too much. It's
Crossing streams!
my nerd.
There we go.
What's our first news story?
Alright.
You just deafened Axon, and I think that you caused...
You're being muted now.
The people need to hear. They need to...
If you can't hear Jonathan, it's because Axon is holding a grudge right now.
No, don't worry. John is loud enough. He's probably coming through my mic.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So, VR.
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 So, was it South by or GDC that this came out of?
South by Southwest, I believe.
Sony finally announced a date and how much the PlayStation VR is going to cost.
Oh, so how much is it going to cost and when does it come out?
Wasn't it, I don't know, US,
It's
but it's 500 for
49
$549 in Australia.
49.
for Australia, which is the exact same as a baseline PS4, as it's been talking about. VR is going to cost the same as a console.
Although,
The immediate backlash was that they edited and said, oh, by the way, you need the PlayStation camera, which is another $90 Australian on top of that, which you've already got. So it does push up the price a little bit, which narrows the 200 price gap between each set of VR.
so how much was Oculus Rift going for again?
We have...
The US was $6.99, I think.
Oh, it's if we open this, we have
Open this bad boy.
a handy little
We
comparison
look
chart.
at the news.
as we relate.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
all right,
this is all US prices.
I mean, this is US prices, but we can. Like,
Oculus was $5.99. My bad. And it comes with an Xbox One controller. HTC Vive was $7.99 US. So there's a noticeable 200 price gap
so in the states, in the states, it's going for $3.99.
So yeah, and so they say for the PlayStation VR that they suggest people get PlayStation Move.
Yeah.
Now,
which is the PlayStation 3, PlayStation Move controllers are compatible with the PS4. So if you've already got them, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Like you could probably get a good deal like on Gumtree or.
I went to EB. They don't have any brand new ones. They've only got pre-owned ones, which are $18.
So that's still not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, the PlayStation Move's the thing you find in your mum's drawer, right?
Oh wow! Oh god! Can we slap a 15 plus on this here? Are you?
That's subtle. That was subtle.
You're really subtle.
Yeah. Hey, they put the glowing ball in there, not me.
Oh,
it's not.
what?
It's a glowing ball, not a vibrating ball.
But it's squishy.
Is it squishy?
Is it?
It is. When you press it, it squishes.
Are you supposed to squish it?
Well, no, but it's not stopping anyone from squishing.
This has become very questionable. Okay, so
Taking it.
what I want to say, so they've said that PlayStation, I think it was someone from Oculus I read, said PlayStation VR is for PlayStation, Oculus Rift is for PC.
Yeah.
And he was like, so it's not competition.
No, they're like...
But we're still going to compare the two.
Absolutely!
Like,
Yeah, most people have a computer. Most people have a gaming console.
And now...
And then you've got people who use their PC as their gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are the prime virtual reality headsets out in the next few months. So, comparisons are unavoidable. But
Well, I mean, if you've got the money, you want the best one possible. You want to know the specs. I mean, it's the same way you compare the PlayStation 1 to the PlayStation 4 or to the Xbox to the Xbox One. It's just comparisons. People want to know what's better and what happens with each different one.
yeah. So what are those comparisons? What are we getting between these machines?
I'm just reading this. I love this, like, system requirements, you know? So you've got, for the Vive and the Rift, you've got, like, you know, specifics graphics card, which is the NVIDIA GTX 970 or AMD 290 equivalent or greater. And then, you know, it goes on to CPU, which is just i5s pretty much.
You need the HDMI, you need the video out.
Yeah.
You need your...
And so it's a bit complicated, especially if you don't know what any of it is. And then for the PlayStation VR, system requirements. Sony PlayStation 4.
Well,
I mean, I mean, you're right.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I was going to use my PS2. But
Damn, my PS3's not up to date.
Well, I mean, for a lot of people who aren't hardcore gamers or like us who actually stay relevant with stuff, they go, "Oh, it's expensive. It must be a thing in itself."
But it's not. Like,
I mean, you do get a
You still need the, like...
I mean, you don't need
graphics power.
you don't need a Wii U for the 3DS, but
Yeah.
I mean, there was a ton of people who went in thinking that the Wii U was just a tablet,
yeah.
and they
Yeah,
wanted
that's
to
true.
they wanted that
Like
for.
what is the console? What is the console? And then,
So it does. I think it is fair to put the PS4 there, saying that you do need that.
Yeah, fair enough.
What I'm confused about is the HTC Vive doesn't have audio built in.
doesn't it?
No built-in audio.
Oh, wow.
So you're paying a lot for pretty pictures but no sound. I think it's just a bring your own headphones.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Should be
Because I think for a lot of people, they might who do play games a lot on a PC.
We'll have
I would imagine
right.
their headset would probably be a few notches above what Rift or like even PlayStation VR is bringing to the table.
Well,
Yeah.
the only thing I can say is you've already got the big bulky headset.
Yeah, like how
Is-
more
is-
can you put on here?
Yeah.
How-
I mean, the
how
Vive's
you-
gigantic.
I mean, how are you going to... Is it like one headset can fit all headphones? Or are people going to say like, oh, my Razer headphones don't work, but
this other brand does.
My Astro ones do.
There you go.
Like, I'm wondering how that works in terms of like different headphone sizes. Where I mean, if you've got the built-in one, you can't have stuff that doesn't fit.
Sure.
Yeah.
In terms of connection that comes, the PS4 one has a lot more, but the PS VR comes with its own processor unit that looks like a little mini PS4 that sits on top of it.
That's a bit
Plug it
cute.
in.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But how many ports does that take up of your PS4?
I think
Question.
it takes up the HDMI and at least one USB by the looks of it.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't say that they takes up more holes than the PS4 has to offer, but
Actually, does it say? What I'm curious for right now is, are they wireless or are they wired?
no, they're wired.
So all of them.
All of them are
all wired.
absolutely wired.
Okay.
There is no way you can.
So how long is that wire though? Is it a huge like?
No, actually.
From what I've seen, it should take from your PS4 to about roughly where your couch would be.
So would
I
that
mean-
be, what, a couple meters?
Couple of
But
meters.
what
Like,
yeah, like-
I don't think anyone's got obscenely long couch distance to TV. I think it's
I don't
a
know.
pretty standard.
I think I have
1
a
to
pretty
2.
hefty TV to couch
ratio.
distance here.
It's an accident.
I mean, it's
Like,
it's a little while, but it's not insane. Or
Yeah, it's not a huge home theater, yeah, but it's just. I think that's one of the biggest problems these days. Is sure the controls are all wireless, but when you need a wire, when you need to charge them,
Yeah.
like the cords for charging are like this big, unless you go
Okay.
out and go buy,
a third party.
a third party 10 meter.
But I mean, that's the same with anything. Like
Yeah.
the HDMI cords are really small, the power cords are really small. They're all sort of assuming you
Yeah.
compact it all into your
Yeah, what if?
TV unit.
Yeah, come on, guys. What if I want to have my computer or console like in another room?
Yeah. Exactly.
I want that I want it so far away. There is a slight delay with the video
Then get stink
because the HDMI cable is that long that there's a slight. Like that's, what if that's what I wanted? You're not catering to all of you.
You're catering to
Fucking me over.
probably a one-person audience at this.
The consumer is always right. Okay.
No delay in HDMI. You only lose quality over distance. You don't get delay.
Stop talking. Shut up.
Don't correct me.
What I found strange about this is that PlayStation VR comes out last this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
I would have thought that the PlayStation VR was more of a turnaround, considering I was talking to someone in Sydney in January when I went to Sydney for Rooster Teeth, that said that the HTC Vive still felt like a long way away, and that is the second closest one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
April.
I mean, apparently
According to this, Oculus is out in the month.
this month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the next, what's it? How many days?
At 9.
7, 8, 9.
9 days, yeah. I think that's first shipment stuff, maybe even.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well, it's
technically, Oculus Rift has been out for a while
It
with
has
the
been.
dev kit, especially.
Yeah, so that one's not a surprise.
Yeah. And Vive kits they've had out for a while. as
Vive kits
well.
have been out for a while, but when I was talking to this person who has had one for a while, he says that the way you set it up and still some things that make it feel bulky and not as refined as it could be.
Yeah. Well, it is.
I mean,
giant.
that-
It is big.
I mean, that might have changed in the couple of months. I mean, I don't think it would have been anything drastic, but it might have been just enough.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the PlayStation VR is also trying to line up launch games.
Yeah,
as
that's
well
true.
With it, so
Oh yeah, that's the
extending
big
that.
winter releases
I was-
coming out then.
I was
big
gonna say,
Halloween and winter.
It could also be like a bit of a, not damage control per se, but more like damage prevention. Like if they release it too close, then it might like kind of oversaturate, and they want to make sure that when they come out, they're like, hey, ours is different. Like,
it's a bit of distance.
As
there.
Jonathan said, the first wave has already been sold out in Australia.
So
that first wave sold out within 6 hours of pre-order, which I think is absolutely insane. I didn't think that many
no one
people
thought it would. I don't think.
A lot of people,
a lot of
industry analysts have said that it's going to make billions of dollars in the next couple of years. I didn't think it would be that crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how many units they're packing into each shipment, if they're like overstocking or anything, but
it's like amiibos.
Amiibo.
Two per store.
Two per store. You're lucky to get one.
Yeah, I thought people were going to be more skeptical about it.
That's what I thought.
I naturally assumed it was like, these aren't going to sell because people aren't going to like go for it. But apparently they're like flocking. They're like,
gone.
no, I want to, because I think PlayStation VR's got something above the others. And that's PT. Like, if you can play PT with this guy, like sure, you can play you could play Outlast on PlayStation, I'd imagine, as well. You could play, what's the one? Amnesia. That's a bit old, to be honest. It's still spooky, but it's a bit old, so it's like...
You can play Slender, The Arrival.
You can play Slender, like, oh, that's scary. But it's like PT. Holy fucking shit.
If you need to like play on a toilet, then that's...
Which is why you need the really long cable.
I can hardly justify it.
There we go. I win. Imagine that. Imagine sitting on a toilet. You've got your built-in 3D audio because it's a PlayStation VR and not the Vive. What a stupid piece of crap.
Like, all these Vive supporters outside. Shut it!
Well, you couldn't have a Vive to your toilet either, because you never know who's looking at the front-facing camera lens.
I mean, and you'd have to bring the sound all in with you as well, you know, to your toilet with the Vive. Jesus, no one wants to have that inconvenience, do they?
Does it? Sorry, I'm just reading. So see, this is, I'm looking at the PlayStation VR, and it looks like you can just straight up go, all right, taking these off and plugging my own, because it's got an aux cable.
I think that's just for sound.
Yeah, like that's what I mean.
Well, I think that's from the unit to
the
headset. Yeah, it's got a aux connection. Oh,
because processing, VR headset and then
aux
processing.
to aux, I think it is.
You reckon?
I think, yeah. So you plug, it's probably a separate cable just to...
But why wouldn't it go through the HDMI? I don't know. We'll find out. That's the thing. We're going to find out.
Well, I think there's 2 HDMI cables for each eye screen.
Okay.
So...
No. But the PlayStation VR only has one screen.
Maybe.
So Oculus and Vive have 2 screens, one per eye, but PlayStation VR has one single 1920 by 1080.
Interesting.
What is that? Interesting. I wonder how it's gonna go, because
personally, I'm gonna wait for the bundle to come down through Sony, where you get the Move and the camera with the VR headset, because I own neither the camera or the Move.
Yeah,
So
I don't trust the PlayStation Moves that have been lying around in my mother's bedside table. Apparently, thanks for that, Jono.
or in a EB's warehouse, because no one wanted it originally.
So that's...
Imagine like a warehouse full of like these PlayStation Moves. Just these glowing balls at the end of it. But anyway.
Going on to more PlayStation themed, even though we're trying to be, unbiased, but that's not going to happen.
Coming for you, Greg Miller. Best PlayStation podcast right here. We're coming for you, Greg Miller. Laying down the gauntlet.
Okay.
So there's been a report saying that Sony is making a more powerful PS4, dubbed the PS4.5 or the PS4K, because they need something to support 4K resolution, which the PS4 hasn't already.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is that the PS4 can run movies at 4K if you've got a
disc.
disc
That's a Blu-ray
4K.
disc.
So it's interesting, like gaming. I think all they really needed to change there is just the
GPU.
yeah,
GPU,
the
yeah.
graphic, like the processing for graphics. Just bump that up a bit. I mean,
How do you feel? Like, would you upgrade to?
I personally, it's not a big enough thing for me. I'm not really that upset about
No.
1080 to 4K. It's I mean, I'm sure one day I'll go to like, oh wow, that's amazing. Like,
pretty.
but
you
as
have
it
also have to
stands
buy a new
now-
TV.
But
Yeah, I would
it's
have to
4K
buy a new
4K
TV.
Well,
And-
that's for regular games. I think this was more specifically for the 4K in the VR.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the
But yeah, I think it's more a case just to run games at 4K. I think it's what.
In general, but I think specifically geared towards the VR. This is all speculation and rumor.
Could be anything.
Could be fun. Could be not. Could be more money.
oh, that's good.
And do you reckon-
just the opening here is just saying more about the VR. Is that Chris Norton is rejecting any VR game that runs lower than 60 FPS. So that I think is good.
I think that's good. That's good to bring it up because I mean we've got all these games that are going 1080, but
So we're going to
with
see.
higher graphics comes a lower frame rate.
Yeah.
Are we going to start seeing Sony put out remastered games? Are we going to see
Get the
Last
real
of,
experience.
Last of Us 4K?
60 frames and
What else did they?
I don't know.
Final Fantasy 10.
like 10,
Point
225.
Can they? Is it feasible to update the games to have a 4K resolution, or do you reckon that would be too space?
That would be really space dependent because you'd be mostly relaying textures. If you've got a digital copy of the game, probably wouldn't be too bad. You could do that. It would be a big update.
Be a large
Because I'm
update.
just thinking,
If you've got discs, probably not.
it sounds like they're probably going to be Last of Us remastered because that's what they love to do these days. They're just like, hey, Uncharted Collection, there you go.
You want another one of these, don't you?
Well, to be fair,
got enough, Drake?
the Uncharted collection did more than just
Yeah,
up
that's
the
true.
graphics. They made speed,
Personally,
They
They made-
remodeled the game and
remodel. They did a lot of background stuff in that.
I would play the shit out of Crash Bandicoot and Jack and Daxter 4K.
that'd be fucking mad.
That'd be great.
Like, just imagine his hair. Like,
Who, Jax or Crash?
but
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Also yes. Okay. And so, speaking of our great god, Sony, because we're on a roll here.
Yeah. So, did you guys cover
we
this last?
mentioned this last week. So
Because last week, Microsoft said that they are open to doing cross-platform, but Microsoft, I believe, said like PC or console, and
Yeah.
so people were kind of going like, "Is this specifically to Sony, or
No,
is
this is to Ouya.
no? Or is this just to Windows 10?
yeah. That's
Which they've kind of done that before.
PS4 is already catered to
Yeah.
Steam for games specifically
But,
Rocket League.
Yeah, I'm loving this line right here where Sony just smacks down Microsoft with this quote. PlayStation has been supporting cross-platform play between PC on several software titles, starting with Final Fantasy XI on PS2 and PC back in 2002.
bam.
Like, just get with the times, man.
rubbing that in.
Sony has been pretty progressive,
Yeah.
even though, I mean, the PlayStation Go, which was like the little mobile one before PSP or after PSP?
PlayStation Go.
More like
That was after
PlayStation.
PSP. So that
After PSP.
PSP. It was a remodel of the PSP.
And it had no disc. It was supposed to be entirely digital.
Yeah.
It was way ahead of its time.
Too ahead of its time
Too
because like an only digital thing back then wasn't going to have, especially in Australia.
Yeah.
It's still
Like,
not in Australia.
Yeah, because it's Australia.
Yeah.
But I remember playing on PC and my mate had PS3 and we were playing
Yeah.
Portal 2 and it was
Yeah.
like, holy shit, this is the future. And we thought that was it. We thought, Valve's done it. Everyone else is going to
Everyone
be
else
on it.
is- yeah.
Nah, it took until 2016 Rocket League. Finally, people heads removed from butts.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Small little team. Got it right.
Yeah, Psionics, you did it. You saved the world.
We believed in you.
I mean, I've been talking about doing this for Destiny for ages. It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to Destiny, and like instead
Now also the Division.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said this last week.
We did say this.
Change it from like up the exclusivity on not games themselves, but what you get. Make a friggin' arms race with the developers.
Yeah.
Like Microsoft gives, Activision like a percent, like something,
Like, yeah.
and then
have your-
all the Xbox players on Destiny get this item now.
That's it.
And then
And,
all
like,
the PlayStation ones are still
they
showing off their
whinge.
Jade Rabbit.
That's it.
Like they whinge, but like it just like if it's a nice kind of even arms race.
That's it. Like, wet that.
it would be nice. It would be a nice competition. Make it friendly.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
wet-
I don't want to
wet
see
the-
any
New skins.
I don't want to see any fish hooks or like eye jabs. I want to see a nice fair fight.
Exactly.
Like different skins.
Different skins. Like, wet the Halo guys. Give them a Master
Yeah.
Chief.
Yeah,
helmet or
well,
something.
that's what would be happening on Rocket League. Is we've got Twisted Metal, they've got the Warthog.
Exactly.
And I'm sure eventually they'll have something from Recore.
Record!
There we go. That meme's not dying yet.
No.
Meme for just accent.
I just saw him finish off the monster, so I was like, you can pay attention to us now. Anyway. But yeah, so
Record!
Jesus.
we've got the bridge now. They've said, do you wanna? They said yes.
Yeah.
So now we just need to see if it was bluffs or if action's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I do believe that. I think I was watching the note, and there was another quote that said, "The groundwork's been laid.
Yeah.
You could do this very easily. It would be very easy to do this." I can't find it in this article.
Well, wasn't
particular.
it?
And so
yeah.
basically, it's all just politics at the moment,
That's
stopping
it.
this from happening.
I was saying it's not a technical issue. It's more a business decision. So it's just getting the companies to see eye and eye on connecting everyone up. So
And I mean, one day we'll be able to play like a 4-player game. Someone's on PC, someone's on Xbox, someone's on PlayStation,
yeah,
and then someone else is on one of those previous 3 because Nintendo and Mac aren't really going anywhere.
well,
the Nintendo users
someone's on the
watching.
NX. Is what you're going to say.
Well,
the Nintendo user is just watching them all play on the sidelines. I wish I had this game.
why did they even release this? No. Okay, so some less Sony news.
Oh, we can jump down.
Oh yeah, okay, okay. Sony, like, let's keep this going. Let's the Sony train.
together.
This is why Axon's not paying attention. He's like, I don't give a fuck about Sony.
I don't give a fuck.
That's why, like, this is gonna have like, I don't know if this is gonna have more viewers or less viewers because it's Sony. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. it
We're just
could
going
be.
to post it in the Podcast Beyond group, and we'll just be like,
And then
it's the
done.
next upcoming podcast,
Okay.
PlayStation podcast. So the Naughty Dog Twitter account posted a picture of Uncharted 4 being loaded onto a PS4 with the caption, "We've finally gone gold," I think it was.
It's happening.
So can they release the game yet?
Does
that mean
manufacturing?
Digitally, I think they could.
Yeah,
If
digitally they could.
it's
but
it's already
ready. It's
as what we reported before was that
they pushed back the
Sean
release.
Layden said they've got delays in production. So that means making physical copies, making the Nathan Drake statues, and making the special edition
Maybe
Uncharted
that-
PS4s.
Maybe it's literally just the Nathan Drake statues. Maybe they made all these statues, but they've all got like a mark right on the crotch area, and it wasn't until like all like 10 million are made, and then like someone just looks and goes like, you can see his penis. And then just literally just a large sigh as they tip all of them into a fire.
It's time to be recast. Or maybe it's just the PS4 ones, and They've spelt Parvis wrong.
Or maybe like they just had like two separate figures. Like they had the Nathan Drake one and had like a Lara Croft one next to each other, and the designer's just like drinking with his mates. They're like, all right, spin around, and then you have to like choose which one you got to make first. And like he goes ahead and he like plays with it, and he accidentally puts like Lara Croft's head
What?
on Nathan Drake's body.
No, like the whole torso. So Lara Croft's entire torso, and then just in what do you call them?
What the fuck are you on?
Pants.
Pants.
What?
But like,
How? What?
There was a mix-up. There was a clear mix-up.
it's a pretty easy mistake.
Yeah, pretty
It's
easy mistake.
simple.
And like,
How- why-
I've got to show this to Sony tomorrow. I've got to do something radical. And so he brings it in and like, you fucking idiot, this is
And
Lara
instead
Croft's
of-
body.
Tomb Raider's
he
under
was trying to-
Microsoft at the moment.
He was trying to have
Yeah,
a
but
drink
the
of,
production company making the statues, I mean.
There's no.
They share the same shit.
and he just needed a little bit of energy burst because he was feeling a bit sleepy. So he had
a
some
bit
green
sleepy.
cordial, except he didn't realize it was absent.
like fucking Sony are like there smacking him over the head going,
There's no Lara Croft game coming out with a statue anytime soon.
no, that doesn't matter. I'm just, for the
I'm
sake
lost.
of them being similar games, whatever.
Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not. I still haven't finished.
No.
I got the collection. It's just sitting there.
I
looks
finished
nice.
the collection just recently
Well done.
with you.
Well done. I finished it for him.
Did you platinum?
No, yeah.
You have work to do still. Go.
I'm getting the Nathan Drake Libertalia collection,
Yeah.
and I'm getting the PS4, which comes with Uncharted 4 again, which
Yeah.
I'm going to trade in. And for an extra $20, I get another copy of Doom as well. So I get these two games. I'm going to be like, all right, just give me $200 for these brand new games.
Sounds good.
So I get $80 for free from Doom.
Ooh.
Nope.
No.
Never mind. Nope. That was an alarm. Never mind.
Okay.
That was,
All right. All good.
Oh, good.
So, is it? So it's been charted now.
It's on a course.
That's bad.
It's good.
Throw something quickly.
No.
Oh shit! Now we need to sync up again.
Oh, damn it.
But we didn't get any of that actually on the camera, so we can't use it for that
It's
sync
like
at
an
all.
echo in the background.
So is that all the Sony news?
I think that's all I'm sending you.
It's all the Sony
Oh no!
news.
Do we have?
For this week.
No, that's it.
That's for later.
That's for
That's
later.
it.
There's no.
There's no Sony in there. There's no Sony in the movie or TV segment. It's just not. We could put that in if you really want.
We're gonna chuck that shit.
Well, yeah, because Sony
But that's
owns
not-
Blu-rays. They own it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's personally.
Do we want to keep the Sony
That's
train
why
going?
there's no
Oh,
Blu-ray
yeah, I
player in
guess.
Xbox One.
Keep the Sony train rolling.
Okay.
Sure.
There's a Blu-ray player.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so I was told there wasn't. I was like, that sounds strange.
think-
but
Definitely, dude.
Yeah.
yeah, someone
I-
told me that. I was like, that sounds strange, but okay. I don't have an Xbox One.
To be honest, I believed you more than I believed my own gut instinct. So I was like, yeah, that sounds right. Ben knows this shit.
Son of a.
Anyway, so a particular manufacturer of Blu-rays done fucked it.
Not again. But this is old.
This is
what is
old.
it? Criterion.
Criterion?
Criterion Collection.
I don't know what that is.
So they
a
have,
label.
you know,
So, apparently, Blu-rays can rot.
Well, old Blu-rays.
Yeah.
May suffer from disc rot. So,
is that a thing? Do I have to worry? Do we have to worry?
I don't
No.
think so.
Or is it just if you've gone and got a Criterion disc?
From,
which seem, from the sounds of it now, their reputation is that it seems a bit shady to me.
It looks a bit
Like
dodgy.
they've probably cut a corner or two.
True.
So if you've got a really old Criterion Blu-ray disc,
2007 to 2009.
just just cut all your emotional ties to that movie now.
Burn it.
If it wakes up with stank eye, then you know.
Burn it as in, like, destroy it, not as in illegally duplicate it, because we do not endorse
rots.
that.
It rots. They said it rots. So.
I didn't hear your joke.
No, he's not getting the stank. So I said, if your disc wakes up with stank eye.
Oh, that's nasty.
They said the disc rots and it makes there's context. They get it.
No,
comment if you get it.
Not them, just him. Yeah, you're typing the comment now. That's disgusting.
Type it. No, got it. Right on his Twitter. Tell him you got it.
All right.
So moving on.
His Twitter is @shouldbeMatt.
No.
No. Does he look like a Matt?
No, he looks like a mott.
This is Ben.
This is
Well,
Ben.
tweet
He
to
is
Ben.
BMW3ing.
That's not.
He's
is that it,
BMW 3ing all over the place.
Yeah.
No.
What are you gonna do now?
Well, what he's going to do now is talk about the BioShock collection box art leaks. Whoa!
Are you excited for this?
Is it? Maybe?
Do you want a BioShock collection? I know Axton was.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Axton's excited.
I really like the cover art. Like, I was looking at it, I was like, this is
it
like,
looks-
it's simple, it's smart. If there's not a picture, because I don't think there's a big picture. Really.
There is a big
Okay.
picture around.
And now that
afterwards.
big picture is on your screen thanks to Jono.
Damn it.
And it's got, Rapture at the bottom. And it's got the lighthouse in the middle, because there's always a lighthouse. And then Columbia in the clouds on the top.
See what you did there.
And that's good. I like it. It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful, nice little picture.
It's simple. It's nice. I like it. Does it have... oh, yes. Along with each game's post-release content. That's good, because I haven't played BioShock Infinite's post-release content yet, which is set in Rapture, which is awesome. It's got Elizabeth in it. She's a cutie.
She's
Everyone loves it.
She was on the podcast once.
Yeah, she was. Yeah,
She
with
was
the little
featured in.
figurine.
How do you feel?
And I feel good. I'll get it. I haven't, like I said, I haven't played that post-release content. I haven't played BioShock 2.
I played BioShock.
I haven't legitimately played BioShock either.
Yeah?
I only played it with God mode on because the Big Daddy scared the shit out of me.
It's pretty terrifying.
It was-
The end of the game is even more terrifying. But,
Would you kindly?
would you kind? But I'm actually one of the few people in the world that liked BioShock 2 because I actually thought the gameplay was far and above better than the original game's gameplay.
Probably better than BioShock Infinite's gameplay as well.
Yeah.
Because it's not...
It really wasn't.
No?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
So
It was bad.
Wait, no. I meant
BioShock
2.
2 was terrible.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I thought they they streamlined quite a few things.
No, it was
Okay,
clunky,
so
it
they've...
was
So all
slow.
3...
Because I
Let's
always,
just,
I
like-
always felt the first game it took a while to swap out what you wanted to use. So if you wanted to use
Okay.
plasmids or your guns,
Because some games, like Call of Duty, you don't play for the story.
No.
Right? You play for the gameplay. This is the exact...
you play for the
pol-
multiplayer.
Well, yeah. This is the exact polar
Play for the
opposite.
Doritos,
You don't
man.
play BioShock because it's streamlined gameplay and initiative...
The same reason you don't
Um,
play Fallout 4.
yeah, you play it for the story.
You play it
Because-
for fun and making your own fucking challenges.
Yeah, but it's good that I get to play these, I presume, on my PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Because it would be very stupid
Because I mean,
to-
this hasn't technically been announced.
yeah.
But it's becoming one of the worst kept secrets. It was leaked last September.
Because, yeah, it's only been leaked as Xbox One, according to the leak. No, it's been rated for Xbox One
yeah.
by the
because-
Taiwanese regulation board, and that's how we found out, according to this GameSpot article.
So, even though Irrational Games shut down 2 years ago, do you think that 2K could be rebooting this for a BioShock 3 or a BioShock Infinite
Well-
2?
Infinite is technically 3, but
Because from what I've heard, I haven't played these games, but this game is it's kind of like Pokemon. Like, there's always a Pokemon to catch kind of thing. There's always a lighthouse.
There's always a lighthouse.
But I don't
There's always
know.
a city. There's always a Pikachu.
I feel like Infinite kind of summed everything up. I'm like,
But
if
you could reboot this with whole new characters, same premise.
but it's in the whole idea with Infinite, it was the game's been out for 3 years.
yeah.
The whole Infinite
I feel like the point that they're trying to make really is that it is about the illusion of choice.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
builds up all this choice, and then the game doesn't give you a choice.
So
And a
it's
lot of people
telltale.
were like, no, yeah, but that's the thing is, they were like, you didn't have a choice anyway. Like
exactly.
like we lied to you.
They
That's the point.
portray that throughout the entire game. Even that scene when you're in
Spoilers.
spoilers. But even that
3-year-old
scene
game.
when you're in the
Move
apartment in Booker's apartment.
Come here.
And,
Come here, talking in the microphone accent.
So you're in Booker's apartment, and you've got Elizabeth in the cot. And there's the Lutece twins knocking on your door saying, "Give us the girl, wipe
Yeah.
away the debt," which is sort of what they say. And well, I know, right? What? So you're given the option to pick up Elizabeth and take her to the door, or Anna and take her to the door and give her to the Lutece twins. Now you have that choice. They're giving you that choice to either pick up Elizabeth and give it to the Lutece twins, or just leave her there. But you can't advance in the game without actually picking up Elizabeth. So
Yeah.
that's like an example of the whole premise of all the games. Is so you're just blindly following this story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Which
all
is-
super meta.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is the point. Like, you know, that's the whole thing of the first one. I can't speak for the second one. It's a man chooses.
The second one's just
A man chooses.
Continuing on.
gameplay kind of thing.
Yeah.
A man chooses, a slave obeys.
Yeah.
You know, like, would you kindly?
Would you kindly, yeah.
Which, do you understand what that is? And
No.
for the audience members, so basically, he is a main character.
It's been
How long? 2007.
Years, so-
2007, the first game came out. If you
Dude, it's been 9
been
years.
9 years.
All right, so
Spoilers.
basically, yeah, you're a sleeper agent, and you will obey any command if it is preceded by "Would you kindly."
Okay.
And so throughout the game, he goes, "Would you kindly do this?" And you just
Atlas.
Atlas. And you just go like, "All right, well, it's a game. I'm gonna do what he says." And then it's like you had to do it because you were told to.
Yeah.
I mean,
And there's that whole scene at the end, and it's absolutely brilliant and wonderful.
Yeah.
it sounds like it sounds like a very franchisable series, kind of like Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed, where you don't necessarily
Yeah.
have.
So basically,
I'd say that's the
two
thing.
sides.
Make it like, Assassin's Creed went too far.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you
Um,
could do it without Assassin's Creeding it,
but-
But then
Yeah.
you
with-
could make a new
That's
game.
an adjective.
It miss-
You could make a fourth game within the BioShock
Well.
universe.
yeah.
It would be very easy to as well, because what Infinite goes on is to add into that is even with all this choice plus the idea of multiple dimensions, like infinite multiple dimensions.
That's the whole point of it.
It
yeah.
will always follow this pattern. There's always a lighthouse. There's always a city.
But that's the thing I find tricky about it. Is like,
There's
well,
always a girl being protected by a giant metal scary thing.
it becomes like you know what's going to happen. It's just going to be an episode in this universe. So it's like, okay, well, where do you go from Infinite now? It's like, how do you go beyond that? It's like you can't really go beyond.
can
Although
still-
that is
Infinity.
a cool
You can
name.
start- you can start
That is a
getting-
cool name.
Beyond Infinity.
No, BioShock Beyond. That sounds
Beyond.
cool. And then Beyond. Brrr. But yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it is a very franchisable game. If there's a fourth game made, people will buy that.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Uh,
yeah.
And so it's
depends,
basically
yeah.
a question: do they want to make like another BioShock 2, which doesn't bring much to the table, or they're going to be racking their brains for ages thinking how are they going to like enhance this even more?
See, I feel
Well,
like it
'cause-
would be more. You'd be getting more of a case of BioShock 2
Than
because like you had like BioShock 1 and Infinite were designed by Ken Levine, so he was the head of Irrational Games. But since Irrational's gone away, they're doing their own.
He's still
thing.
doing stuff though.
But he's not working for 2K. He's not doing Bio. He isn't. He's said he's not doing. It's Ken Levine. Ken Levine. But he's moved on from BioShock now. So without him sort of working on it, it would feel kind of odd. And I feel like you'd get more of a BioShock 2 episode.
I mean, if they go into it knowing that they're going to follow this storyline, it's going to use the same present setup.
Yeah.
they can work on other things like what you do inside the game, making that interesting, and making characters that you love, and maybe more questionable choices where you feel like you should have more of a maybe thing.
Yeah.
Like in BioShock Infinite,
I think
there
there's-
are a lot of two-way, a lot of forks in the road. For instance, there's one point in the game where you're waiting,
Yeah.
and you either have the option to just silently wait or to pester the guy. And
Yeah.
if you pester the guy, you put your hand on the counter, and the guy stabs your hand. And
Yeah.
for the rest of the game, you've got a bandage on your hand because you've been stabbed there. There's also a point in the game where Elizabeth asks what necklace she should wear, a bird or a cage.
Yeah.
And like she can, like, it's just
Do
these
whatever.
little options. So if you played on that more and made these bigger choices that actually had much more weight to them.
Yeah.
Like personally, I felt that there was a lot of weight to them when I was playing. Like I was like, I'm giving Elizabeth the bird
Yeah.
because I want her to be free. I don't want to think of a cage.
That's it.
Which was coincidental because CAGE is what summons the bird or changes the bird.
Yeah, I think it changes it.
Anyway, and so if there were these more like not interesting per se, more weighted,
Or varied choices, maybe?
not. I still think it would probably be better if it was like you can choose 1 or 0,
Yeah.
but make both of them like a scenario that you don't want to do.
Make like two different... Instead of having like...
morally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
much more morally, like something like save a innocent woman or save a baby,
Yeah.
and it's comes down to the player as a
either save a group of strangers or it's a loved one.
yeah.
That's the
Yeah. Or there's the train
yeah that's,
scenario.
That's the
Well, like
Yeah.
the train and the Gwen.
Oh.
So, as I said before, I haven't played this game, but what it sounds to me in the original was like you make a choice, but immediately, whatever happens, it always comes
Yeah.
back. So I think what you're describing is maybe having a choice and having that branch out a little bit more before it just comes back to the inevitable.
So I do
end.
say, like, I do think inevitable, like,
Like, yeah.
what I would say, if it was up to me, I'm just throwing this out here, you'd have it so it branches out,
Yeah.
and then it all, like,
like
comes...
in Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, then it rounds back together, like, and you think that's the end.
Yeah.
But then in the epilogue, it's like, well, actually, no, because of
Drops.
these. There
Yeah.
you go. You did,
And
like,
then-
you did good.
And you can replay the game and
It
get...
does have something like that. The little sisters.
Yeah, but that's the only... and all that really does is change the cutscene.
That's it. I mean, like, that's the thing that I think people criticized Infinite for, was that, you know, the original BioShock, it was...
You had
it was,
two options.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, you had this philosophical dilemma going throughout that first
Well, there were
game.
3 endings, but 2 cutscenes.
Yeah.
Basically, depending on how many little girls you killed.
Yeah.
If you saved all of them, then
Yeah. Whereas, like,
Yeah.
Infinite was more of like a mind bender. You left that game going, the fuck just happened?
oh man, like that is the inception of games. Like
that really is.
like people go like, I understood BioShock Infinite. It's like, dude, you don't need to impress me. Like,
I know you're not.
I know you're an idiot.
Yeah,
I had to look it up.
I looked it up as soon as I finished that game. Whereas, like, the original BioShock, I sort of, like, walked away and I, thought about it for a while. I was like, oh, well, that sort of makes sense. Whereas
Yeah,
Infinite
was like,
you went straight to a guide and you were like, what did I just do?
what happened?
Tell me what happened.
What happened to Anna?
So
It was Bruce Willis' ghost the whole time? What?
where was Bruce? So yeah, I mean, that's why it's like, okay, if you do another BioShock game, to prevent it being another BioShock
Well, like,
2,
literally-
like, there's going to be a lot put into it.
Like, literally, it will be BioShock 2 because Ken Levine didn't work on BioShock 2.
yeah, exactly.
So, it's,
Well, I mean,
it's not even...
Yeah, nothing to do with it. So
I think you can probably do this game without Ken Levine. I'm sure he has a lot of weight in what happens in the game, but I'm sure if you find a good developer and someone who a team.
smart, very.
They'd have to be very smart.
Very smart,
Just
yeah.
be on his
I mean,
level.
the first Walking Dead game was like that. You felt like you had choice, and you got to the end, and you went, "Oh,
Yeah, but it's not about the choice. It's about the concepts and how.
So it's the concept, because he's putting in
It's not about
all
the
these-
destination, it's about the
The
journey.
story is told. Like
Yeah.
Levine is a
He's a-
brilliant story.
He's a mastermind. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure you could do it.
it's just
I
they'd
can't
have to
say
be.
it will be better than Ken Levine, but I'm sure there is a team of people who could probably put this together very well.
Yeah, I think you just have to be very selective on who you choose to put it
Put
And
together.
together.
don't tell any Taiwanese retailers about it.
That your game's coming out.
Get Kojima to work on it.
Could you? Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be good.
That'd be
okay,
interesting.
I want to go. Speaking of choices, Telltale has announced more stuff about their Batman game.
Yeah.
I didn't actually watch this.
I haven't watched it, but I read the article.
So
I was at work. I don't know.
I saw Greg Miller in with an IGN thing. I went, "This is old news. He doesn't work for IGN anymore."
Yeah. So I think it's what's it? They give me a small synopsis.
So I like how. So basically, what it's saying here is that you can approach things as Bat or as man. No, but it's that's what it's
Yeah.
saying. You can go full on detective mode, put on the cape and cowl, go on rooftops and figure shit out, or you can kind of covertly Bruce Wayne it up,
yeah,
which is interesting to me.
that's pretty cool. We haven't had that.
Apparently, it's just Batman.
Is it?
Apparently, there's no one else in the Bat family.
Oh, okay.
So
So,
there's
it's
Batman,
just Batman.
Alfred,
So no Robin.
But that's it. What's the girl's Vicky Vale? That's the reporter.
Vicky Vale's the reporter. Yeah.
I feel like you'll need to have James Gordon and Alfred and probably.
Yeah.
They're-
Oh,
yeah.
they Alfred, James Gordon, Vicky Vale, and Renee Montoya.
I feel like you have to have them to push, the story forward a little bit. And sort of be like, oh, Batman.
Yeah.
Does it mention anything about villains though?
Keeping a tight lid.
Yeah.
And what have they got? The Batman game will be rated M for mature. We should.
With the cinematic approach reportedly feeling more akin to an R-rated film.
Should be
So it's
interesting.
going to be BVS extended director's
cut.
cut. Right, there you go.
Which will be coming up in our movie cast.
Oh yeah, man. Should be coming out in 2 days.
In 2 days.
We're going to see that.
2 days.
Do you want to talk much about this? Or?
I mean, I'm keen to play it. I mean, I'm not too sure. I don't think I've actually seen any. There's no footage out. Is there?
Yeah, there's no game.
There's no gameplay or anything. I'll wait to see some gameplay footage. 'Cause-
I'm looking forward to this because we don't see enough of Detective Batman.
yeah.
Batman was, the world's greatest detective.
Yeah.
And that's why, the point, which is now just evolved into because I'm Batman.
Yeah.
It's no, it's not because he's
Show
Batman.
him being the
It's-
detective.
Yeah, show him being the because I'm Batman.
Yeah.
You need, and I'm sure they'll do this in BVS where Bruce figures out the whole kryptonite thing,
they're like,
figures
"What's
out
this green
makes
rock?"
metal, blah blah blah. But I feel like in a lot of representations of Batman these days, it's just he does the work, but not it's not mentioned.
Yeah,
And
he's
it's-
got
it's-
You're just left with a man somehow being Superman.
Yeah, like Nolan, not the Nolan films, he had, Batman had people helping him out. Whereas
He just has the back computer and Alfred, do this for me.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Really-
Arkham series, he would take out the thing.
yeah, he actually,
blah,
it's
blah.
him, we're seeing him do it, and that's the Batman we like to see. We like him being the detective.
Basically, it should be they need to make a Sherlock game.
Yeah.
One of these. I forget who the developer is. No, I forgot.
We're not going to
But just make it Batman.
Yeah, and that'd be great.
It would be.
So,
So, if we're making it a Sherlock game, who's Batman's Watson? Robin?
Robin.
Robin, not Alfred. Could be either.
That'd be.
Or maybe it's because, in this Telltale game, you can do things as either Bat or as man. What if you're, if you're Bruce going
Yeah.
around town, you've got Alfred. But if you're Batman going around town, you got Robin.
Yeah,
That'd be interesting.
that would be pretty cool. You swap
And
them out.
does he just be like, Watson? That thing.
No, why would he say that? He would say Alfred.
Alfred.
Idiot.
Alfred.
But he could have like
Alfred, over here.
You have the whole.
I need some. Fuck.
Okay, and so I feel like we saved best to last.
So there's a lot that's come out of South by Southwest
Yeah.
and Pokemon Go footage, like we mentioned before, is one of those things. Now, we were talking about this before, and you said you thought it looked fake.
Yeah, I did think it looked fake, but someone, I believe on Reddit, figured out where it is.
Oh.
So they've got a picture of a screenshot of the video,
Yeah.
right? Then they've edited it because it's on a, what do you call it?
Angle?
Yeah, it's on a 3D angle, so they made it 2D and flipped
Well,
it,
well, they've
and
also-
it is a perfect Google Maps image of Niantic Labs, which is the developer of the thing. So that leads me to believe that it is real.
It is
because, where else are they going to be testing their own product? Where they're,
I also don't know why anyone would go to the amount of effort to hire out a hall and put up make a whole fake footage for them to sit back and record it from the worst possible angle.
Yeah, but then Rayman Link has broken me in so many things. Remember Super Smash Bros? That guy who made that perfect leak. So I don't trust anything anymore.
Don't trust anything on the internet.
And also, to be honest, it looks unfinished. I very much hope the UI gets a bit of a change there because I think this looks gross. It's just looks so weird, and the whole it seems very it's so jittery there.
Well, I don't think this is anywhere close to completion. This is obviously just
really early alpha footage or something.
Yeah, I don't think this is even.
Well, I mean, it could be. It's on a Samsung, so it could be that. To be honest,
Yeah.
and he's just spending $10 on a fucking Ivysaur.
Yeah.
Because
He used the
if you-
freaking Master Ball.
if you pause right there, on a better footage, someone's claiming, I can't see it here, but someone was saying that a Master Ball is looking at about $10.
Oh, so you can actually buy
So
with real world money?
yeah, real world $10.
Or is it-
So I'm okay with this as long as Pokeballs are free.
Yeah, because
If you can get yourself 99 Pokeballs and just sit there
as long as you can earn them as well, don't just
I assume if they
You've got
were
the-
gonna do stuff like that, it would be microtransactions with legitimate ways of getting it. I would hope.
oh god.
Oh, no.
Okay.
The earth just shook
Sorry.
in your ears.
sorry. That's it. Crystals, it appears to be the currency. Crystals, whatever that is.
Oh, so in-game currency.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then you can buy crystals,
Buy crystals,
for an amount. But if you look, hang on, right about, of course, the audience isn't seeing this.
Yeah.
So at the experience point screen, so he got 110 experience points for capturing an Ivysaur, right? That looks so not finished. That is...
No,
All this
I'd say
UI
it's fairly
is so appalling to me. It is insulting.
I mean, it's hard. It would be hard to not disappoint.
Yeah, that's
some
true.
people after that initial trailer. There's no way that's going to live up to any.
But-
of course, yeah, no. This is just basically HoloLens
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
augmented reality stuff coming out of this. I don't expect it to be any better than what was it, Pokemon Dream Radar for the 3DS.
Well, going off of Ingress, which is Niantic's other mobile game,
Yeah.
as long as the foundation is similar to that, I'm probably going to have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah.
We've only seen basically a guy capturing a Pokemon. He doesn't even attack it. So we don't even know.
Is it just
That's the thing. We're still in the dark if you can actually attack.
Is it just a massive safari zone?
Yeah, it could be, for all we know, a massive Safari Zone, which is kind of crappy.
It's
Like,
not-
and that's not what
it's-
they advertise. They advertise like
Yeah.
remember that
An actual
the scene at the very end where you've got Mewtwo flying around Times Square,
Times
and they're like literally throwing like Pikachu's at this, just
Like, go Pikachu! Attack him! And then just like...
shoving Pikachu into like a t-shirt cannon.
yeah, that's like what it looks like. It's hilarious.
Splatting like the Samsung signs.
Oh no! And as long, I say, from the looks of this, it's gonna be good as long as there's no Nia.
So, in other news, Pokemon
You're losing
tournaments
HP.
came out.
You're halfway through the battle.
I hope you're gonna do it.
Yeah, I hope to see this kind of work from you again.
Later on.
Oh god.
Pokemon tournament came out this Saturday, just gone.
Yeah.
You got the pre-order bonus Mewtwo amiibo card.
Mewtwo.
Shut up, Mewtwo.
Why did they not just make that an amiibo?
Yeah, I don't know. I heard about it, and I was like,
What's that
Shadow
like?
Mewtwo amiibo, that's awesome, man. And it was like,
I did
nah,
see
it's
it-
just a card. I'm
Just a
like,
card.
I did
Alright.
see someone make a custom.
Yeah, it would be pretty easy to make a custom.
Yeah.
like
And it looked nice.
literally just paint
Just
and then
colour
put in
change.
the synergy shard.
Yeah. Stick the old rock in his shoulder and he's good.
I mean, it looks like it hurts, but that's okay because he's Mewtwo.
He's
He's always
Mewtwo.
in pain.
He's just like,
he's pretty much
I'm
the emo kid.
psychically not making it hurt.
But yeah,
He's got the rocks in the forehead like a big boss.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and just an eye patch.
Pokemon Tournament, good game. Pokemon Go, I reckon it's gonna be good.
I think
Like,
it'll be good.
it might be shy of what we all want. Scratch that. It's definitely going to be shy of what we want.
I think so, yes.
But I think we need to go, all right, it's like, take it what it is. It's still going to be a good game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, yeah, it will... Yeah, it just won't live up to expectations after.
Like, let's face it, no matter what Pokemon do, like, our expectations
Is to have
are
real
the same.
Pokemon.
Well, yeah, but they're going to be the same expectations that we had when we first started playing, which for us was like 2.
Yeah.
And our imagination was running as wild as, like, Oddish in a field running free.
Like a Gyarados in the ocean.
Oh, like a Pidgeot flowing through the sky.
Like a Magikarp flopping on the floor.
Exactly.
A Pidgey flying through the sky as a Zapdos annihilates him.
Or a Swampert, I don't know, in a swamp.
Haunting a ship like it did in the anime.
Or a Farfetch'd on a dinner table, you know?
Complete with leak.
Is that leaked? Is that leaked footage?
Yeah. He's not wearing his headphones anymore.
Yeah, but he can tell it clipped.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And so that's, I think, all of our gaming news.
Yeah, I mean, do we have anything that won't be in the movie cast later on?
You're right.
Observing.
Did you guys talk any more about Sun and Moon last week?
Yeah.
Talked about it.
I think we mentioned it.
Somebody's touched on it briefly.
Yeah, we touched on
We
it
touched
briefly.
on it briefly,
So
yeah.
we're going to keep this Pokemon train rolling. Good. I love Pokemon.
More Pokemon.
What do you guys reckon? Now, I know Ben has read up about, like, things that you want in
He's got a fairly
I saw one article that Jonathan mentioned to me
and you're
that
pulling this one up.
I'm pulling this up. The IGN decided to cover. I think it was the top 4. I think I had a little bit of a breakdown mentally. So IGN wrote up 7 things that we want. 7 changes we want in Sun and Moon. Some of the ones further down, I think we've discussed. But
What we
Okay,
got?
so like
What have we got?
the first one here, save files. Like, okay, I feel like no,
So
save files should stay the same because that's the staple. That's the point.
So what are they saying? What are they saying?
They're
about
saying that we should change out the current system, which is where you have one save file, and if you want to start a new save, you have to delete the older one.
Current system.
Yeah, the current system.
That's
That's the current system. And so they're saying like, okay, well, let's have the option to play through it again without having to delete it. Like, so multiple saves.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think, in some games, like Legend of Zelda, when you get 3 saves, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Because, you're experiencing it differently, I guess. But, I mean, while you could argue, like, oh, it's just money grabbing because you need a trade, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, that's the staple of the Pokemon series. That's why they made the 2 different ones, was to
It wasn't
promote people playing with it. Video games playing with other people wasn't a solo thing. It was to bring more people together.
It wasn't so much about the money side of things, which I'm sure was just a happy coincidence for them.
Yeah.
It was more about, like, because it was initially about, like, it was inspired by, like, bug collecting.
I think,
And
no,
then-
it was the little, like, things that you get for $2. The little... and pops it out and you... Capsule. It was Capsule
Yeah,
mode,
Capsule,
which was the
yeah.
little capsule things you put $2 in, you turn the thing in and pop out and you collect them all.
Yeah, and so you didn't... Well, most kids, I imagine, didn't, like, just get, a big thing of $2 and just empty out the whole... What do you call it?
Capsule.
Vending machine.
Vending machine, yeah.
They would have, every day, mum and dad give them a coin. They put it in, they get it.
Or
and
they get
a
their
lot of
pocket money once every week.
their
and-
pocket money. But yeah, that's what I think. I think that is not a thing we should change.
I think
I think
the
we're
last
fine.
part here, which was saying that if you've got them all, you don't want to delete them. It's like, well, they made Pokemon Bank. You
Yeah,
put them
there are
all up
ways
there.
around that now.
Although they do bring up a good point with there are also key items that you can't trade or otherwise save, like the shiny charm, which basically increases your chance of getting a shiny. And so it's like,
But if you've got
maybe that note, that's not a bad idea. If you get the National Pokedex certificate, you should somehow
Be able to keep.
that. Like,
Yeah.
like if it was something like, a bit more, like I can't really think.
well, if you've got them all on Pokemon Bank, you transport them up, bring them all back when you start them again.
Yeah, that's true, but like it could be a thing, like a trophy from PlayStation, and that once the game reads that you've got that, it can give you the shiny charm. Like once it goes, okay, he's already collected them all here. Like let's give it.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. God, this one,
Number 2.
this one gave me almost.
So what's this next one?
So it's talking about the experience share in X and Y, and then Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. You get the XP share very early on. It's not a collectible item that you can get later if you go back and talk to certain people. And the XP share got changed a little bit, and so now it equally divides experience between all Pokemon, much like the XP all in Red, Blue, and Yellow, the original ones. After Red, Blue, and Yellow, they changed it
To the share.
which is one Pokemon. You equipped it to one Pokemon, and it was that one Pokemon that would get the added experience. Basically, what they're saying is, instead of having it go to all, go back to the old system.
We'll go back to the old system, not the old system. So what about XP share and XP all?
Yeah, I guess.
Like, have, like you said, it's pretty early on that you get the XP all, let's just call it.
Because it gives XP to all.
Yeah. And then from there, like, change that to the share. And then if you work...
Two different items.
2 different items. If you work hard, like, there's a specific way to get the XP all.
Like,
Yeah.
for example, in Gold, Silver, Crystal, after you go to the Lake of Rage and you defeat the Gyarados, you get a red scale. If you go back to Mr. Pokemon, give him that red scale, you get the XP share.
Yes.
So if they include side quests.
Yeah, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be fun. Which actually, side quest comes up later.
Okay, let's.
This one's kind of interesting. So they're talking about.
It's kind of, but it kind of defeats the purpose of Pokemon. It defeats.
Oh
one
yeah.
of the-
Okay. I
So the
this is
idea-
completely no. I say I'm putting a firm no to this.
So basically they're saying, okay, so having access to the PC at all times and being able to swap out Pokemon.
Yeah, you're very not getting the point here, buddy.
Yeah,
Like,
that. I mean, if you want to play, I think we've talked about this. What they did in Black and White 2, they made
hard mode.
easy mode, normal mode, and hard mode. The only problem is you could only unlock that at the end of the game, and it only went to. That was just a overcomplicated way of playing the game that didn't work.
This sounds like to me Pokemon easy mode.
Yeah.
Like the ability.
This is for people who want to play the game and don't want any challenge.
Like yes, you'd have only in battle 6 Pokemon, but effectively on the field you'd have all of them, which is I feel defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
Plus, not to mention that when you put Pokemon in your PC, it instantly heals.
Yeah, and it does sound. Oh, that's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
But it just sounds like it was a bit weird. Like at start, it's like you get 6 Pokemon. Why 6? It's like a good number, I guess. But at this point, it's like okay, that's the law. That's
how
it
it's
works.
always
It's
been, yeah.
like any RPG. You can only have like 3 or 4 people, or
in your party, and you
Yeah.
got to swap them out.
yeah, and
It
it
becomes
means
unbalanced.
variety, and you have to choose particular people and their certain strengths, and
Yeah, to me, it sounds like
you have to
I
combo
don't
them
think
up
you
in
quite
particular.
get RPG.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You know, Pokemon's an RPG, right? Like,
This one, it's too brief. They're talking about how fairy balances within the metagame, particularly against weakness of fairy, which is poison, not to mention also steel. And it says that there's not enough Pokemon that are strong against fairy or are good choices against fairy, to be honest. But I feel like that's always been the case.
well, yeah, like
I mean,
it's the same with back when it was dragon, you'd need
a dragon or
you'd
an
need
ice
a
type.
quick dragon or
An ice type.
and ice types are pretty niche. There's
I mean, you can teach your dragon ice type moves. You can teach your water Pokemon ice type moves. You can
yeah, so it's not that hard. Like every Pokemon can learn Toxic,
Yeah.
which is a poison type move.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
There are ways around
if they're going to talk about rebalancing Pokemon, I think they should overhaul the entire system and start from scratch, especially for metagame and competitive Pokemon. There is 6 optimum Pokemon, and there's maybe 1 or 2 variants that you might swap out. But if if you look at competitive, basically everyone runs with the same team, and so that's not very great for what is it up to now? 700 and something Pokemon, and
Yes.
6 are optimum.
Yeah.
that's not what you want.
What I was talking to you earlier was you can have rolling updates. If
we're at a point now where
MOBAs,
You can update on the fly.
MOBAs, MMOs like Destiny, Division, they can re-roll stuff at any time and send out a mass
like Destiny
update.
did.
Yeah.
Like they went through a whole combat.
And I mean, it would take a lot of work, but I mean, if they just roll out one change every month or something, and you can slowly, like one major thing, you can, overturn the whole competitive scene. And
Like they almost, like I feel like Mega Evolution, they almost did get that. They were
Yeah,
like,
it was
that's
very
going to
close.
turn it because it's like, you've got these
Well,
6
still-
great Pokemon on your team, but which one do you Mega Evolve? And so if you look at the teams...
You almost had it until they made Garchomp very competitive against Salamence. And so you would see either a Mega Garchomp or a Salamence, but then they made Salamence Mega Evolve and everyone went, fuck you, Garchomp.
Yeah. And so that's the thing.
So I
is
think,
that
yeah. balancing mega evolution.
Yeah, balancing.
Something.
It is hard.
Yeah.
And so at this point, you would have all the Pokemon that can Mega Evolve would definitely naturally.
Because I imagine we're going to get a
trump the
whole bunch more Mega Evolutions with this new
new
next generation.
Like I said, I think last podcast, I'm hoping for more Pokemon.
Yeah.
More interesting Pokemon. Let's
Well,
get,
yeah.
We've got Psychic Ghost, Hooper. Like, let's get a non-legendary.
Well, I mean, you've got the Fire Water Volcano.
Yeah, let's get a non-legendary one of that as well. Like,
Mix it up.
Is there a Grass Fire? I feel like a Grass Fire.
I feel like there is, and I can't think of it.
No, I'm going to say
yeah. Like, let's just, get some interesting types here. Like, remember when everyone was freaking out because they thought, holy shit, hang on.
Sableye,
No. I'm having a blank here. Zygarde. There we go.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, it's got to be Bug Dragon. Because we saw it, but we didn't see, and we knew its name, but we didn't know its type. And they were like, it's going to be Bug Dragon. Look at that. That's a bug. That's a dragon. That's a Bug Dragon. And they were like, nah. So it was Garchomp. Ground Dragon. Like, it's like,
You had the chance and you blew it.
and like, for instance, what's its name? Drygalgi?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that kind of was a pivotal point typing because it was Dragon Poison, and like we've touched just now, Fairy's weak to poison but strong against Dragon.
Yeah.
And so it was like, I remember I was running with my Sylveon, and then it was just like, got like sweeping this Dragon team, and then Drygalgi was just like, nah, mate.
No, mate, I got this.
You're gone. And so they need more things like that. They need more, like...
To throw it up.
Yeah, more stoppers, more, like, well, hang on. And that's what their balancing needs is.
Personally, I'm not really keen for more Pokemon. I'm hoping for more story-driven runs.
Yeah, definitely that.
Maybe do a...
Well, yeah, here we go. Well, do we want to do that first, or...?
I will do this. So... The next point they bring up is HMs.
So,
I'm half and half in this.
so wait, what are they saying about HM?
So, hidden machines basically are moves you can teach Pokemon.
Yes.
That allow you to do things in the overworld.
Yeah.
Such as cut to get rid of a pesky tree, a strength to move a boulder, just surf to go through water. And it made sense in like number 1. And then it's like over time, like I feel like each iteration of like Pokemon, I have felt like, why can't I just get into the water? Like, why can't there be, instead of, like, because you get to a point where it's like, I don't want to teach my Pokemon surf because it's like, that's a bad example. I don't want to teach my Pokemon cut because that's not a good move.
Yeah.
And so then eventually it gets to a point where, like, if you're playing Gen 4, you get yourself a Bibarel because he can do any HM. And he just sits there, like, level 20-something, while you've got level 60s everywhere else.
Yeah.
Because he's just there to surf, cut, strength, and
Rock Smash.
That's all he's good for. And then you've got one flying type that can fly.
Yeah.
And to learn Defog.
Oh, yeah, because it's Gen 4. Yeah, so... That's the thing, is it kind of gets to a point where it's like, oh, well, now I've got only 4 Pokemon because the other 2 are my slaves.
Exactly.
And that takes away from the point of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Is they're supposed to be your buddies.
I mean, in Gen 1, they used strength to solve puzzles, like in Victory Road, which was fun. Same in the Ice Cave in Gold, Silver, Crystal, and even in... Gold, Silver, Crystal again, the fighting gym, you had the 3 boulders and you had to, unless you did it in the right order, you weren't able to progress and actually get to the gym leader.
Yeah.
So, in game design, it makes a lot of sense because Pokemon is a very linear story. You go this way and this way only. What the hell was that?
I have no idea.
Was that a cat? Did someone step on Mama?
Who knows? Mama stepped on Abby.
Oh no.
Sorry, Abby.
So, like, it makes sense. On the other hand, it does make sense just to be like, oh, look, I've got a Lapras. Let me just fucking sit on it.
Well,
Yeah.
I reckon replace it with an item, a key item that you need, right? So, like maybe,
Well, like the
the Eon Flute and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which
I
is
never use
awesome. Really? It's
Really?
so
I use
like
it all
It was so
time.
long. The
Like,
cuts
it's
seemed to
not-
fly up and then move around. I was like,
so cool.
Oh, you can you're actually flying.
that was fun. Yeah, it was fun, and I just went.
Although I love the fact that you can literally release your Latios, and it's like, I'll come back for you, babe. I love you.
And I was just like, I can just hit my Pokemon, hit the just fly quick. I don't have to worry about like, oh fuck, which direction is it?
But it's a good option.
It is a good
if
option.
you don't have a flying type in your,
Yeah, 'cause
if you don't have anyone, or you don't want to teach fly.
Yeah.
I mean,
But,
it's
yeah,
good later in the
imagine-
game if you just want to ditch Swallow.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, Swallow's
You could-
beast.
You could always have something like, I mean, worst case scenario, you could have like
A boat in your
like a
pocket.
power brace kind of item. I think power brace already is an item. But like, you know, like strong. What's that? I'm
Like
trying to
Ranger?
think from Zelda how you get that specific wrist wear that allows you to lift boulders.
Yeah. The gauntlet,
The Goron
power gauntlet.
Power Gauntlet. There you go.
Yeah.
Like, get that. Put that item on the one that you want to be able to do strength.
Yeah.
Like,
That sounds like
it does sound like a lot more effort, but if you want it to be like specific to a Pokemon,
Yeah.
But I reckon you just get the gauntlet, and then the game implies when you want to use strength,
Yeah.
you have given your gauntlet to one of your Pokemon on your team,
Definitely, yeah.
and
So, like,
push it.
what you're saying is have 2 item slots, one that
Well, no. I'm
So you
saying.
can equip
I'm saying
power-
one. No. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm saying you get an item, and the game implies when you want to use strength, you have given that item
Yeah.
to your Pokemon.
Because they have that item.
They don't physically have it. They like if you press start, they don't have it.
Yeah.
But it implies that
Okay.
you've taken it out of your pack, given it to the Pokemon,
Yeah.
and the Pokemon's helps.
I mean, since Pokemon's moved away from the puzzle solving aspect of it, I feel like going ahead and trying to bring the game up to speed with more open world games, also using the lore that's in Pokemon Origins, is that, and what you can already do with the Pokemon League, where you get to choose which one you go to first, is that the whole world is open to you, kind of like Fallout, where you can just, if I don't want to beat Brock right now, I can go defeat Misty,
Yeah.
and I have the option to go anywhere within that world, but also have all Pokemon lackey to your level, so you're never actually going to be overpowered or underpowered in one area, kind of like the Bethesda stuff,
Have it. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got more of an open world Pokemon.
which would mean a lot more fun. So, like, in the lore that you see in Pokemon Origin is that because he goes to Brock first and he doesn't have any
Yeah.
other badges, Brock only pulls out 2 particular Pokemon. But I'm sure if he came back with 5 badges, Brock has a different set of Pokemon.
Yeah.
He's gonna take out like a like like a Rhydon, you know.
Yeah.
Or Rhyperior.
Well,
Oh, God.
I don't think Brock would, but
His brother does.
Steelix.
yeah. that's
Bring in Steelix or
His-
something.
His brother has a Rhyperior.
But yeah, I get what you mean, where you can take things your own, like choosing, and
You're like, oh,
I
shit.
agree with that on like some levels. Like I do think it would be interesting if you could take gym leaders like your own way. Like I'm pretty sure in the first gen you could kind of like mix up a little bit. Like
Yeah.
you could. I'm pretty sure you could
You
be
could go, like,
Koga first.
Yeah, you can skip
if you
some-
go around it.
Yeah.
Maybe an attack.
Like, you could attack, I think, Sabrina.
But I think it
Earlier.
would still be better if it's like if you go to a certain area.
Yeah.
It's like don't go to Victory Road because the Pokemon there are gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
Well, no, Victory Road, you still
Well,
have the
yeah, I
people
know.
going, you can't come through, you do not have your 8 badges.
But like okay, what's it called? Mount Silver. Like even though they stop you from going there as well until you beat the freaking
before
Elite Four twice.
you need permission from...
Okay. What's a better example here? There's no great example.
I mean, you can do that in Pokemon Crystal as well. You can skip Jasmine and go straight to old guy who does the ice stuff.
Yeah, and I think it would be interesting if, like, it's like you would go onto the wiki and it'll be if this is your first gym leader, they have this team. If they're your second, they have this team.
Yeah.
But I think it would still be better if the like places Pokemon are like stronger. Like if you go to maybe there's like a path, like a route that's like kind of like the Nugget Bridge, although that was fairly easy.
Yeah.
But it's like you don't go there because they're gonna fuck you up.
Exactly, because
Like-
it's going to be like, well, you know, all the wild Pokemon in a particular area are going to be a certain
Well,
level.
yeah, there's obviously going to be like some areas which have like death claws coming out, and you go, oh fuck, I can't do this. But like for the most part, the wild Pokemon will lackey to your level.
Yeah.
But I think that ties in better with the HM things. Like, so say you want to go to Cinnabar Island, it's like,
Yeah.
well, you got to wait until you've got a water Pokemon that's a sufficient size to carry a 10-year-old. Like, you're not getting there until...
On a Magikarp.
Yeah, you're
Like,
not gonna-
yeah, you're not going to get there on a Magikarp or a Goldeen. You're going to need a Sea King or a, like, Dugong or something. And so that could play into it. Maybe
That'd be cool.
specific Pokemon can do specific things. There you go.
Yeah.
Although I feel like Magikarp should be able to do like just waterfall. Like
Just
it can't surf, but it can waterfall.
You just see like this.
Don't
little-
ask how that works.
Yeah,
Like, you're
because
just,
we
like,
never
holding onto
we
this
haven't seen a
Magikarp, so,
fucking
like, rides
waterfall
up.
since like. Or I don't. Do they even have waterfall?
No, they have
in-
waterfalls in Omega Ruby and
No,
Alpha, don't they?
Yeah, but I don't. I think
They
before
do,
that,
the,
the last one before that was Ruby and Sapphire. I think they kind of like wiped out waterfall.
No, I swear there's. I'm maybe thinking of Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Yeah, because Ruby and Sapphire
But-
have waterfall.
Yeah, but I'm saying like between.
X and Y. No, X and Y does. Because there's an item near Mewtwo in X and Y that you need waterfall.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, but it's not storyline.
Yeah, so there's no storyline waterfall.
It's not like you physically can't get to the Pokemon League without waterfall, or you physically can't.
Well, not in X and Y, but
Yeah.
What's that? Okay. So what do you... Alright, so the next point is... I thought that was the point we were talking about, actually. But not really. Is just basically... the story formula should be
changed up.
mixed up a bit. You know, we've got you're a young child, fight the 8 gyms, defeat Elite Four, battle your rival, become Pokemon Master.
Yeah.
I reckon what they should do is you can either go... Like, it kind of gives you an option, and you can take it bit by bit, or you can just do one... But then you can't progress until you do the other. And that storyline quest is gyms and Elite Four. It should be 3. Gyms and Elite Four, collecting like Pokedex / getting love from your Pokemon.
Yeah.
And the third one is the team. Like Team Rocket, Team Aqua, Team Magma. And so it's like eventually you can get to like the... Like in Red and Blue and Yellow, it'll be like you get to the 7 gym leaders, you get to the 8th, and it's like, well, you can't progress because in this instance, he is the Team Rocket boss.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
so you need to sort their shit before you can continue.
That's kind of what happened in my Red playthrough. I was looking because in every other game where you go to Kanto, you need to get like a special key item of tea to give to the guards to get into the Saffron City. So I was looking for that, and I went, fuck. I did everything else and was like, fuck, I need to go to Saffron City to defeat Sabrina.
Yeah.
Where's this tea? And they go, oh no, you just buy fresh water from Celadon
Yeah,
City.
yeah.
And so,
Oh.
so I went to Celadon, bought the fresh water, went to Saffron, defeated Sabrina, defeated Giovanni, and then went straight to Giovanni's
Yeah.
gym. It's really funny because it's like, I just beat you and you've suddenly got a 20 level increase.
Yeah. So I just think it would be interesting if like you keep the kind of basic formula, but like
Just
I think-
go into
or
some
maybe-
more depth, you know?
it could be like, yeah, you go into more depth. Like if you choose to neglect the team, like maybe the 7th gym leader, instead of being like this gym leader, it's like a corrupt one.
Yeah.
And they like use dirty moves. Like could be a dark type gym leader. That'd be a first.
Or like instead
yeah, we
of
trust the dark
versing
types.
Giovanni, you have to verse Jesse and James.
Yeah, it could just be like interesting things like that where like I don't want to say like you stuff yourself if you don't tend to each thing, but it could be interesting story elements to like bring together, you know.
Well, I was thinking like bring things that you have from other Pokemon games. So like in Alpha Sapphire, Omega Ruby, we see the introduction of sneaking. So, like, if we're going through Team Rocket's head base,
You can sneak
you,
past.
you can maybe sneak past them, or you can take them head on. And maybe if you take them head on, then they actually do call for help. Like they always always like, I'm calling for help, and nothing ever happens. But they call for help, and you get out of the battle and go, oh, actually, I'm surrounded by people, or I can.
Yeah,
sneak
I think
around.
that's what I remember. Like Black and White 2, a lot of people give 5th gen like a lot of crap because, like, let's face it, Garbodor and Vanillite weren't doing anyone a lot of favors.
Nah.
Like personally, I'm not too against them because, in my opinion, they're like the same level as Muck and Voltorb. So it's
Yeah,
like, all
exactly.
right, whatever.
Exactly the same.
But a lot of people didn't like that, and that's fair enough. I understand their reasoning.
Yeah.
So the Pokemon of that gen weren't great. But I think 5th gen probably has the best storyline
Most
because
in-depth.
not only did it continue on,
Yeah.
but it was a lot.
It's better. It's been better than the Mega Evolution story, which has been like.
I know. I really liked Delta episode.
Yeah, Delta
Like,
episode.
Delta episode was good, but
Delta episode was
I haven't played it, but I know it's brilliant. Like I've seen it. I didn't play it because I was like, I was going to actually just the other day. And I'm like, open up my. Oh, here's my 3DS. I haven't played this in ages. Mega Ruby. Someone erased my save file. Like all my Pokemon were in Pokemon Bank, so I have to assume it was myself. But I don't. I was like, anyway, moving on. But yeah, I think just what I was gonna say was in Black and White 2. There's a point where you're on the boat, and you're just like, holy fuck! There's a lot of Team
going
Plasma.
crazy.
Like this is nuts. Like there's. You have to fight 3 guys at once.
Yeah, the 3
and then you
admin
beat
dudes.
them, and then you have to fight 3 guys at once again, and you're just like, so
What
many
are
bad
they
guys.
doing? And then you got people teaming up, and you're like, oh, it's
So it would be good if, like you said, like if you sneak, and you like,
yeah, that's true.
it's like Gen 1. But if you like are loud and abrasive, it's gonna be like Gen 5. There's gonna be like they introduce new mode
Yeah.
where 5 bad guys like horde.
yeah.
5 bad guys to your 1. That would be like intense.
cool.
Like if you play your cards incorrectly, or if you're a high enough level and want the XP correctly
Yeah.
to just fight 5 guys at once.
Yeah, like they have so much lore which they could use from the anime and from like Origins and stuff that they just don't use.
Yeah.
Like,
It's still quite like they're still very light on the story, and it's like, well, you could go into so much more.
I mean, I really wish they would bring Genius Serenity back. So Nintendo has like
Oh,
Game Freak
the Pokemon Coliseum guys.
and Genius Serenity, who did Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Coliseum, I enjoyed that because you straight out of the gate, you're a bad guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, you do turn around to be good because it's Pokemon, it's G. But like out of the gate, you have
It's more depth, yeah.
it's got something. It also ties into the next point, is that you start with Umbreon and Espeon. It's just like fuck yes.
Like those were because this is a Gen 2 game, isn't it?
No, Gen 3.
Yeah, but still, like those were
Like Espeon and Umbreon were hard to get. Not to mention it had a
Well, you
large
couldn't get
amount.
them. You couldn't get them in Ruby and.
Yeah, you could.
Oh, sorry, Ruby and Sapphire. You could. Fire Red and Leaf Green. You couldn't.
No.
No. Yeah. So the
But
next
yeah.
point says starter Pokemon.
You got fire, water, grass.
Yeah, and I
That's it.
mean they said why not choose from Fighting Ghost or even Fairy?
I've got it. Are you ready for this?
or
I've got it. Like not new Pokemon, pre-existing Pokemon. That would be a perfect starter trio. Riolu, right?
Yeah.
Natu,
That's it.
and fuck, I forget his name. Hang on, I'm gonna have a brief.
Zoa or something.
No.
like-
We're gonna have a brief. I'm gonna. Can we cut this in a bit, or are you just gonna have me
no,
like
we'll just
rambling?
keep it.
Okay. Binacle. Binacle.
Barnacle.
Binacle.
Okay.
All right. Rock, water.
Okay.
Psychic, flying, and then fighting, steel. And they're both
But I mean,
two stage, not 3.
Sure.
It's just, I reckon it matches it up. They both go.
except
That
for
is a bit
Lucario
triangle.
does have a Mega.
Does.
Yeah. You know the one
So
you
just give the other two
transformed into
megas.
on Pokken?
There you go. Just give the other 2 megas. That's it. That's problem solved. Oh wow, that was hard. Got it. Right.
But
Done.
I mean, we did see that in Gen 4 with Chimchar, Turtwig, and
But they were
Piplup?
still fire.
it was.
I mean,
yeah,
the most
but we
most obvious one was Gen 6, where we ended up with, the Psychic Dark and fighting.
Yeah.
But I mean,
secondary
that was
types.
Gen 4 where we had
Yeah,
the
we s-
fighting, the steel, and the ground.
But it
Yeah.
wasn't. It's not as like.
Like,
yeah,
it's not a
I don't
true
know, why does
triangle. but, like,
everyone... It is a true triangle.
well, ground and what?
Ground and steel.
Steel, yeah.
Steel and fighting.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but fire against steel works as well.
Yeah, fire against steel and water against fire.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah. So just, I think that'd be good.
That'd be very good.
You got rock. Is weak against fighting. Fighting's weak against flying. And no, what was it? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, flying's weak against rock. There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a momentary lapse.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've thought about this.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I.
I think, yeah.
I'm not expecting any of this to come out of Sun and Moon. I'm expecting
It to be,
maybe another black and white, or
I reckon stock standard.
God forbid, like another X and Y.
I'm honestly...
they weren't-
Yeah.
The thing is, black and white and X and Y, like they weren't bad, but they just didn't.
They're the
bring
weakest.
They're the weakest. They didn't bring
Yeah.
anything. So basically, what we're scared of is that they're not going to like bring anything.
I'm feeling
to
like
the
an
table.
extended X and Y is what
Yeah,
we'll
that's
get.
what a lot of people are saying because it's been really quick, and I think a lot of people are just really optimistic here, and
Yeah.
they've been saying that this is going to be gold and silver to red and blue,
Hopefully.
and basically, a lot of people have been speculating upon nothing, like
Basically.
that you'll be able to visit the Kalos region as well as the Gen 7 region.
I mean, that'd be
And
interesting.
it's like, that would be interesting. It's not going to happen,
Not going to happen now.
but it would be interesting.
I don't want to go back to Carlos.
Well, it depends. If it's, like, good, then it's okay.
Like Carlos? Or
No. Kalos.
go back to...
It's mine. You'll say nothing bad.
Sorry, Carlos.
Carlos!
Carlos, not again.
There you go. Are you happy now? There you go. This has been a solid gaming
been a
segment.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Do we want to sign off?
Sign off
Yeah.
for Double Dash episode
11?
00000000011. I got it.
In binary, that's 3.
I got it. Again. We'll be
Accident took a while, but he got it.
we'll be
There are
following
10 types of people in this world, those who understand binary and those who don't.
we'll be following up with our movie cast if you stay on a
Yep.
day. I'll be next
If
day.
not after this, it'll be something else, but it's coming.
It's related. You can follow us all on the Twitters.
We're all
Twiz.
twats.
We're all twats and twats. So all together we are at Double Dash
Jump. One word.
One word. I'm at Jono23.
I'm at BMW3ING.
And I should be Matt.
Like us on Facebook, all that kind of crap. You know. the deal.
Subscribe to us.
We need
on,
500.
on YouTube. Like us.
We need 500 subscribers.
500 subscribers.
And we're going to pit them all against each other in a battle royale to the death.
An all-star battle royale
Yes.
with
Featuring
Sackboy.
Dante from
from
May Cry
Devil May
series.
Cry series.
Oh, that's a joke. Come on. That's old. That's an old joke.
old
We should
joke.
stop the podcast.
Should we just slap Dante from Devil May Cry on the
Yeah, do it. Done.
yeah.
Not just Dante, but just the logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think.
Alright, bye guys! Really?
Ah.